So today we're going to be talking about content marketing 101, how to stand out in a crowded space. So you can see my slide I put together here for it, pretty much what I just said. Here's me. On second thought, I probably didn't need a picture of myself, seeing as I'm standing up here, but we'll see how it goes. Before we get into this in content marketing and how it can really work for your business, I do want to tell you guys a story, pretty much how we got into this whole thing. So, rewind the clock, it's 2013, I'm a college senior here at University of Toronto, and I run this blog. Me and my friends are running this blog. We're getting, a couple hundred views on each blog post, everything's good. Then we see this post by the Florida Panthers, and they say, season tickets on sale, $180. Now I'm a Canadian boy, I'm 23 at the time. I think, season tickets, 180 bucks, are you kidding me? Right, that's probably the cost for a Leafs game. So, I do the next rational thing. I buy the season tickets. Yes, we're a couple thousand miles away, doesn't matter. From that point, we decide to write a story. We cover our whole escapade of having these season tickets on what it's like trying to give them away, which we had no luck doing. People in Florida don't like hockey. We write this whole story, we end up getting flown down to the game, having dinner with the owner of the Panthers. It gets crazy, okay? The next day, we wake up, we publish the story, right? It took about 4 months to do with the tickets. The next day we wake up, we publish the story. Next thing I know, it's on Sports Illustrated, ESPN, CTV News is calling, they want interviews. I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, this is pretty awesome. When my aunt stops me, she's in PR, she says, do you know what you've just done? I said, I don't know, I wrote a story, seemed kind of cool. She says, no, that would have been worth upwards of 50 grand for a business to get that type of attention. And I said, oh, and she said, actually no. Since it's organic, it would have been about 3 times that, it would have been 150 grand. Which when I stopped, I said, 150 what? I'm there, you gotta remember, I have $150 in my bank account at this time. So I'm absolutely baffled by this. So it hits me, we can do this for clients, and we can do this for people, and businesses can do this. So that's what I want to talk about, is how you can do this and how you can get the mentions and really bring that attention to your brand. For those of you who haven't heard of content marketing before, it is one of the most Googled things as we move forward. You can see the trend here, people who are Googling it. What is it? The Content Marketing Institute defines it as a technique for creating, distributing value, relevant, consistent content. You get the gist of it. What it really is, it's a serious grind. And this is what I really want to talk about and really nail home in this talk, is that content marketing is a lot of hard work, but it's super defensible once you have it in place. So what are you creating when you're doing this? You're creating blogs, infographics, maybe videos, right? That's what we all think. Really what it comes down to, you're creating a story. You want to have this story, you want to connect with people through your story. We've all seen this, right? This movie, we see a young, dashing Kevin Costner from the early 90s. He had this thing where he said, he had ghosts talking to him and said, if you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. In the middle of Iowa, he builds this beautiful baseball diamond. He then gets one of the best baseball teams in all of history to come play on this field. And I don't know if you guys remember the last scene, but there's like thousands of cars waiting to watch this baseball game, right? This is the biggest problem in content marketing today, is people think, if I create great content, people are gonna come and see it. If I make this video, it's just gonna go quote-unquote viral. If I put this blog post, people are gonna come see it. The reality, if you build it, they will not come. So we're gonna talk about how you can actually get people to your content. You have to promote the heck out of your story. And what this means is you gotta use social media, you gotta leverage it. Who here in the room has their company on Instagram right now? Okay, 8 or 9 hands. Instagram currently has 400 million users. That is the population of Canada, plus the US, plus Canada again. Your customers are there. Though you are not on Instagram, your customers are. This is important. You don't want to miss opportunity. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is this concept of disproportionate results. And sorry if it's a little cut off here. I think we transferred the PowerPoint. Got a bit messed up. But who's heard of the concept of disproportionate results before? Okay, so disproportionate results are when you put 1 times the effort into your content, you're going to get 1 times the output with regards to the return. But if you put 2 times the effort in, a lot of times you can get 10 times the output. So if you're willing to work 2 or 3 times as hard on a piece of content, that's when you're really going to see the return. People are here in university, who remembers writing a paper in university? Show of hands. Right? Go to the library, there all night, working on it, researching, take 8 to 10 hours, you hand it in, you're all proud, sleep deprived, you get it back and the professor says C+, right? Just okay. So now, we see this problem in marketing today is people go and they want to spend 1.5 hours on a blog post and yield this giant return. The reality is that that's not enough work to put into content. You have to research it. You have to approach this like a paper. Really buckle down and say, I'm going to make this the best piece of content possible. Because when you do that, that's when you start to see returns. I'm going to talk, I talked earlier about this Florida Panthers piece, and I really want to break into how you can do this. You know, the Florida Panthers buying season tickets, giving ESPN, it's a feel-good story, it's interesting. But I want to talk to you right now about this moving company, Great Canadian Van Lines. And what's the first thing when you think of the first word that comes to mind when you think of a moving company? Well, you know, boring! So, these guys, I sit down with the CEO, he says, Jordan, we're boring. We're a moving company. We take people from point A to point B. No, you gotta go 1 step deeper and understand your audience. People who are moving don't want to learn about moving trucks, the newest wheels, how much luggage can fit in the back of a moving truck. What they do want to know about, where are the safe neighborhoods? Where are the best restaurants? Where are the best places for young singles, new couples, retirees? That's what you want to write about and provide value. So, in this one we put, 11 reasons BC is the best place in Canada. And we go through and we're able to drive a ton of traffic. This guy's business has gone up 30% year over year, largely from organic traffic. People who are Googling, hey, cheapest places to live in Alberta. And he's a movie company showing up right there with MSN.com, all these things, because he's willing to put in the effort and write these posts. He knows about the neighborhoods. People don't care about the trucks. Think about it if you were a plumber, right? You wouldn't post a bunch of pictures of dirty toilets. You'd want to post you, shaking clients' hands, really show your personality. Next, we see here, we got a group of real estate agents in North Carolina. Now, I love real estate agents, but I also despise them when it comes to marketing. Because a large part of them is, buy my house, here's my listing, right? It becomes annoying. Here's my new headshot, please like my page, do you have a friend, list with me? It gets repetitive. Instead, realize with your business, you are not selling your service or product, you are selling your personality. We are all about getting to the consideration phase. 57% of the sales process is done before a customer ever contacts your business. That means they are researching. They are there, they are researching you, they are checking you out, they're Googling your name, they want to see what you're about and if you're a likable company before they ever contact you. So you gotta be likable. And this one we see here, we have a group, they're working at a local food bank. This has nothing to do with real estate, but everything to do with them professionally. As we move forward, how do you do this? How do you build connections? How do you really, how do you get people to your page? One of the easiest things you can do is mention other businesses first. So, what I mean by that, if you have a business, you're going to take it, you're going to look at what other businesses would have similar customers to you. So that's, we're a marketing agency. I'm going to look at what other products would small business owners and marketers use. They might use FreshBooks, they might use Salesforce, they might use all these things. So I'm going to say, maybe I read a blog, 5 pieces of technology every small business needs to use. And I'm going to write a breakdown on each of those pieces of technology. Then from there, I'm going to link to that company, FreshBooks, Salesforce, whatever. Now, this is where it gets fun. I'm actually going to go and write emails. I'm going to write 25 emails to people who work at that company. Hey guys, I just mentioned your company in this blog post I wrote, thought you might find it interesting, no reply needed. These people are busy, they get sales pitches all the time, literally go, no reply needed. They're gonna take that as, oh, they value my time. Awesome. Lo and behold, what happens? These companies share your articles. They're gonna share it on their Facebook page. If you don't have fans, this is one of the things we hear all the time. I don't have any blog fans. I don't have any people listening to me. Leverage other people's audiences that exist. Right? You can write about, hey, the top 10 restaurants in Toronto. All those Facebook, Twitter pages, they have 10, 15, 20,000 followers. Mention them, they're gonna share your post. Now you have an ability to capture attention. And this is what we want to do. We want to capture attention. Because now you're at the ball game, right? You're no longer sitting on the sidelines, you're playing. And this is what we want to do. Now the content has to be good. This comes back to we want to spend 10 hours on our content. We want to make sure that we put everything we can into researching a well-crafted piece of content, whether that's a blog, a video, an infographic, you name it. Because when people come, this is where you can make them a fan. So within your content, what I would do, one, make it entertaining, but two, I would put something at the bottom of your piece of content or video. There's a simple call to action, and it's like, would you like fries with that when you go to McDonald's? You're gonna try to get people on your email list. Literally put it, subscribe to our email list at the bottom of a piece of content. From that point, let's say you drive 10,000, 20,000 visitors, right? That's a great number. That's enough to fill up the ACC. You might get 300 or 400 return visitors. But this is the metric that we really want to focus on, is how many people come back. If you put out a piece of content, you get a ton of traffic to it, everyone goes, hurrah, yay, we did it. We got 20,000 views. That doesn't matter. What matters is how many people come back. Because that audience member, that person who got your content and enjoyed it, is going to share it with somebody else who they think will enjoy it. Hey, you should check out this company. Hey, have you seen this blog post? So, circling back to this Florida Panthers piece we did, we went, and without a word of a lie, I think we tweeted every single editor from every single sports column, you name it. We got their emails, and all we said is, hey, thought you might find this interesting, no reply needed. That's how the phone started to ring. That's how we got the hits through. That's how we were able to build a brand and eventually transition this into a full-on agency and do this for other people. It's not easy. It's not an overnight thing, but it can be done. And I think that is really, if I want to take you guys to take anything away from this talk, is content marketing is hard. It's really hard because there's a lot of people producing blogs. 550 million blog posts produced last year. But if you put 2-3 times the effort in, you're going to see that return and you're going to start to build an audience. So that's the takeaway. Put the effort in, really spend time, get it well researched, send it to an editor. You're going to see then that people start coming back. Really, and once you go from there, it becomes a lot easier. The first post is definitely the hardest. So, with that, we do have about 15 minutes here, so I do want to open it up for any questions you guys might have with regards to blogging, content, websites, social media.
Yeah, George, you asked about, you said that there's a certain amount of time that you have to put to creating the content, and you gave an example of saying, really do good work, put in 10 hours to create an amazing piece of content. How much time do you actually put towards promoting that content?
Good question. In content marketing, it's 2 words. It's content and marketing. As a rule of thumb, put equal amount of time into writing that you do into actually marketing the piece of content. Brian Clark, he's the head of copyblogger.com. He actually says you should put equal amount of time into the headline that you put into writing a piece of content. That might be a little much. It's a lot of time to put into a headline. But to kind of get to the point, you really got to spend a lot of time. Once the content is made, that is half the battle.
Well, can you talk about that? Because I think he actually mentions about headlines, and I might be misquoting here, but he recommends writing a minimum of 25 headlines before he ever finishes a final headline. Because that gives the intent of how much attention it actually needs.
The headline is so much, especially when you're sharing on social media. That's what grabs you. The headline and the image. here's the reality with headlines. Sometimes they're just gonna suck. There's nothing you can do about it. The intro to your Facebook post is just, you can't hit home runs every time. That's okay. What I would do though, there's a tool called BuzzSumo, B-U-Z-Z, and then SUMO.com, where you can go in and type in a word. Let's say you're promoting soccer. You type in soccer and you'll see the last 25 articles that have done well with regards to social shares and contain that headline. So you can actually go and look and say, okay, hey, what type of headlines would be good? What would work? That's a useful tool that we use every single day. So headline creation, yeah, drop down 10 headlines, feel them out, and if you put out a piece of content that you put this, 10 hours into, you promoted the heck out of it, you put it on Facebook, and 50 people read it, you're allowed to repost it with a different headline. You can go back, change your headline, repost it. This is a beautiful thing about content marketing. Try anything and everything, because the attention span of your user is changing every 6 seconds. They want something new. So you can go back and create this new piece of content, brand it as new, put a new photo in, and see if it takes off again, if you truly believe that it's a great piece of content.
A lot of people think that they need, that you're talking about free social marketing strategies in regards here. That's all you've given so far. What do you think about paid strategies, and is that important for people?
Totally. So one of the realities right now is organic reach is just not enough. What I would do is use a paid strategy. So we're all familiar with Facebook Boost. You guys have seen the Boost posts, right? What I would do is I would boost or target my post, and that's the equivalent of kind of getting a snowball going downhill. If your content is great, this gives you the opportunity to get in front of them. That boost gets you a new audience, and those people, if they like the content, will share it, will share it, will share it. So you can see that as little as $10 can really spark a lot of viewership to your content. So that's something that I would use for sure. Yeah.
I've found in my experience that we get really good organic results. We leave that for a couple of days and then we boost it. And then after the boost is done, zero. Like, it's almost like Facebook is watching and when the money stops, they just hide it.
Yeah, so Facebook's algorithm is a time versus relevance algorithm. So yes, after a certain time, it is going to die down on Facebook. This is where you can do a couple things. One, social momentum is a thing. So the more momentum, the quicker it's getting shared, the more relevance Facebook is going to give it. So as you put it on Facebook, boost it, email all those pages and get them to share it. And then you're going to see there's a little bit more longevity with the Facebook post, but you're also going to see that you're able to acquire more and more links to your content, which will help you out in search. Because that's really what you want to do with content marketing.
Yeah, it does work overall. I just find it's like the silence is deafening after the boost is done.
Well, something that I would do is, once again, right, you post it on Facebook. Now put that in your calendar to post again a week later, a month later, 6 months later, and just have that. You're using Hootsuite or Buffer or one of these scheduling tools. You're able to go and just make sure that your old stuff can still be relevant 6 to 8 months from now. So a lot of times we're only posting the latest and greatest. But if you'd acquired a whole new audience, they might be interested in some of those older posts that are great, right? Yes?
So how do you balance quality versus quantity as far as like blog posts, for example?
So, great question. We have people come up to us all the time. We want 20 blog posts a month. And say, whoa, hey, pump the brakes. Let's do 4, let's do 3, let's do 2. Because one great blog post or one great piece of content, I'm not sure if you guys saw that post. It was around Toronto and you could zoom in on all the neighborhoods. It came out like last year. I think it was from BlogTO. But if you create one awesome piece of content that's 2,000 to 3,000 words long, has a video, has images, that can do way more for you over the long run than any other piece. This Florida Panthers post that we did took 4 months. It took 4 months. Within 3 days, we had doubled site traffic in total. And to put that in perspective, we drove this thing to 1 million hits. So it's the effort until if you have a piece of content that you think this is the idea, I can do this 3-4 times better than anything else that has been done already on the web, that's where your opportunity is. And really, I would double down on it. Double down on your expertise and your best piece of content.
So you're saying it took 4 months to create this content?
Yeah. It took 4 months. We bought the tickets. We had to try to get them out for every game. We went back and forth on how we were going to position it. We started building relationships with some of these sports editors. Hey, we're working on this. What do you think? And And then when we hit publish, you wake up the next day and you've got 85,000 visitors to a page, and you're like, okay, guess this
Did
is.
they share that piece of content?
Yes, yeah. And it got mentioned and linked to in Sports Illustrated, ESPN, and a bunch of others. So we just saw the power of really putting that time in and that effort, and also doing something that's different. You know, we're sports fans. There's a ton of people writing about sports, but to have a unique twist on something that's pretty mainstream, that's where we saw the big return.
Bit about sort of quality over quantity and that kind of thing, but can you go back a little bit earlier in the journey in sort of determining what is relevant content, and how do you sort of understand what it is that your customers are looking for from a content perspective, whether it be type of content or that kind of thing, like I guess from a research perspective, or how does that journey start?
For sure. So what I would do is I would reverse engineer and look at your potential customer. So let's say in the moving space, for instance, right? I'd look at it and say, what are they looking for on the internet? So down the bottom of the funnel where they want to type in move to Toronto, we're not going to win there. You have MLS.ca, you have Zillow, you have all these companies. We're not going to win. There's a ton of articles out on that. But a little bit up in the funnel where people are searching, hey, where are the cheapest neighborhoods to live as a millennial or postgraduate? Okay, we can own this niche piece of content. We can write, here are the 5 best places to live if you make under 50 grand a year. And research it, write those out. Sure, there's not as many people who are going there, but the people who search that in Google have the intent. And they're a little bit higher up in the funnel, but then they're on your page, they're gonna know what you're about, they're gonna research you, and then they can go through and become a lead. So I would just go one step above that transactional, like Google search that you might think, and say, what does the person think before that? Any other questions? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just one more. So in regards to getting other people to share your piece of content, besides the organization themselves, what do you think is the best strategy to do that? Because that usually is what drives.
So I would use this, but not abuse this, is message the friends that you have influence over on Facebook and say, I thought you would really like this. You know, I think that, hey, can you share this? I think you would really enjoy it, or the people that are connected to you would really enjoy it. You gotta know that person, you gotta have the influence on them for them to take action. They gotta trust you that it's good content. If you're doing this, I mean, we've all been invited to these events. Right? You know, those people on your Facebook feed are inviting you to an event every day, or Farmville. Like, no. So don't be that person, but I would go and look at, okay, who are 10 of my friends who have influence that I can actually go and make and message and go from there. The other thing I would do is, LinkedIn Pulse was mentioned at the start. When you publish something on LinkedIn Pulse, everyone who you're connected with gets notification. Hey, Johnny Smith has just created a post on LinkedIn Pulse. So if it's good, they're gonna get notification, they go check it out. So that's another way to kind of get that content moving.
Just a quick question. When you talk about creating content, that's not exactly talking about your business, but the stuff that potential clients or customers interested in. Wouldn't you be worried a little bit about the backlash if they go on a site of a, say, a real estate agent, and then, you know, knowing at the end of the day that is the service that they're focusing on, so all the stuff that they talk about, community, stuff that they're doing, wouldn't you be worried that they, you know, the perception is that they, you know, not exactly doing that because they're worried about, be kind or be nice, but they were just at the end trying to drive traffic into their actual main business?
Yeah, we actually don't see a lot of pushback there. If you are providing value,
Okay.
like people, it's okay to like companies. I think a lot of times companies get this negative rep on the internet in particular, where it's, you know, hey, or people, another thing that we see more backlash on is if we say, hey, here are the 9 best restaurants in city XYZ, people will be like, oh my God, you left Johnny Smith's chicken off. Like, I can't believe you, this list is bogus. So there's always gonna be people that are angry.
Okay.
We don't worry about them. What we do worry about is, out of the 500, we are worried about the 50 that return. Because those are the people that, yeah, they might not buy from us, but they might have friends, family, relative, whatever, that would actually go and they'll start to refer, hey, you gotta check out this business, they're doing some cool stuff, right? Have you guys, everyone in this room, have you guys heard of HubSpot before? Would we say that we like that company? Probably, right? They give away a ton of free resources. That's a company we like, they've done it craftily. So think of that. They're kind of setting the standard when it comes to, you know, creating content that you actually want to like. And sure, people are going to get angry. I mean, that's part of it.
Do you have any more tech tools that you recommend people use?
I would definitely use BuzzSumo. I would definitely use, if you don't have a CRM, Capsule CRM. It's lightweight and it's free for one account. Just if you have any editors that you've reached out to or anything, you can just quickly drop a note in. Any social media scheduling, Hootsuite or Buffer. We use a tool called Raven Tools, which is $99 a month. And we also use a tool, FreshBooks, for billing. Just figure if anything we use might be useful to you guys. Yep.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that, I think you just answered it anyway, so fine.
No worries. All right, guys, awesome. So I'm gonna hop off. I will be outside. We have a booth. I'll be here for the next 2 days too. If you have any questions, or if you just want to come take a selfie for Instagram, that's cool too. Anyways, thanks, guys.